Whoa. Let me tell you guys, I did not think that I would be back on here today. I figured, we did a 2.5 hour podcast earlier today, me and Captain Paul. I just did my gaming live stream, and Mrs. Evil hits me with the text message that Andrew Tate and his brother were both arrested in Romania for sex trafficking. Now, I always heard the rumors that allegedly he did this, allegedly he did that. I didn't see this one coming, folks. And I've always said, man, the guy has a lot of interesting things to say. Many of them are truthful, but he does a disservice to the truth because he's the one speaking it because of the kind of person that he shows himself to be, at least in public. I don't know what kind of person he is in private, but he definitely does not represent a lot of the truths that have to deal with the dynamics between men and women and what works and what doesn't. He says a lot of things that make sense, but his delivery and his agenda for saying what he says and why he says it definitely brings a lot of negativity to the conversation, and in my opinion, really doesn't do a whole lot to really further the conversation. Now, he does say some things about how young men should conduct themselves, especially at a time in history where masculinity is at a premium, unfortunately. But I don't know. It's very I don't know. So, Travis asked a really good question. So what happened exactly? So let's get into it. So we're going to go with the New York Post because this is the link that was sent to me. Let me get rid of this here. Incendiary influencer Andrew Tate and his brother arrested on sex trafficking allegations. Incendiary social media influencer Andrew Tate and his brother were busted in Romania Thursday related to sex trafficking allegations. Police descended on a villa that Andrew Tate and brother Tristan were staying at Thursday to detain the British brothers on kidnapping and EPAR charges. The brothers had allegedly detained two young women, one with American citizenship and one with Romanian, inside the villa against their will in April, where they were subjected to, quote, physical violence and mental coercion, end quote. And, you see them being, this is what you would call the perp walk here. Neither one of these guys looks particularly scared of what's happening here. There's no real fear being shown here. Police suspect the Tates of forming an organized crime group that, quote, sexually exploited by group members and forcing them to perform pornographic demonstrations, pornographic for the purposes of producing and disseminating through social media platforms, end quote. The brothers were questioned for 5 hours on April 11, but were released. Holy crap. Tate's arrest could have been set off by his Twitter feud with environmental activist Greta Thunberg the day prior. The controversial influencer tagged her in a post showing off his 33 cars and asked for her address so he could continue to brag that they contribute greatly to pollution. And again, this is, and this is a really good question too, because, this is something that I really did think about if this was the case. Again, like the dude, the dude, like, what are you doing to make the world a better place? I get the whole masculinity thing. Again, I don't necessarily disagree with half of the things that he says. But what are you doing to make the lives of men better so that men can make the lives of everyone else better? This, bragging about how much pollution your cars are bringing to the world is not furthering, it is not doing anything to make the world a better place. So what is I just don't get what the muse is. What's the provocation? What's the inspiration for getting involved in this kind of dumb shit? Right? We'll get into what happened on Twitter. So he responded with a short "How dare you" before revising his response in a 2-minute video. So we will get into that. Tate asks a person off screen to hand him 2 boxes of pizza, but reminds them not to recycle it in an effort to further taunt Thunberg. The boxes have Romanian type on the sides, potentially letting officials know he was in the country. So here's what I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand. We just saw Tate not that long ago on Just Pearly Things in London. How the fuck do you have a working passport? You fly to Romania, and the government, allegedly is looking for you, but you're able to go through customs. You're able to fly into Romania, and they don't know where you are. It sounds so unbelievably stupid. Man, if it's legit, did he deserve everything he gets? Yeah, if it's legit, and he did these things to these women, they questioned him and released him in April. So what are you arresting him again for in December? Make that make sense. So let's get into it. We're going to get into, I don't know, why are you talking to Greta Thunberg as if she's some kind of, and this is another thing, man. We hear a lot about holding masculine frame and masculinity and all this shit. What the fuck are you, why are you getting into a social media back and forth with a young woman who's on the spectrum? For what? What are you proving to her? How masculine, how manly can you be getting into it with this person who, let's just be frank. She may have some points that she got from actual scientists, but she's not, the fact that she has a blue check, how are you actually notable again? I mean, you said, how dare you, to a bunch of politicians in Europe. Okay, cool. But if you are the great Andrew Tate, why are you devoting energy to this? Because I hear all the time about how masculine you are and how you're this and you're that, right? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, if you want to say Greta called attention to the inaction of political leaders in Europe. If you want to say that, yes, okay. She did something. She said something that made the world a better place. Just off of that, if you're not going to give her that much credit, you get her that, right? But really, what? Why? What? Why? Why does anybody really give a shit what you have to say? Enough where, you keep claiming that, you're this top G, but you're doing this on Twitter. So I wanted to kind of get an idea of what the fuck went on here that, with this Versace robe, like you're showing off your 33 cars. I mean, I like to show off a car. I like nice cars. But what was, you're supposed to be a mover. You're supposed to be a builder. You're supposed to be leading the example of what men are supposed to be. But you're getting involved in this. So anyway, let's get into this right quick. We'll let this play.
Release some greenhouse gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do. But now the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is, I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address, Greta? Strange. I mean, also, I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is. I'm not actually mad at Greta. Please bring me pizza and make sure that these boxes are not recycled. Thank you. So I'm not actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave.
And these are the infamous pizza boxes that has, the Romanian, I don't know why it says Jerry's Pizza and then it's like Romania. I don't know. But this is the fateful pizza boxes that led to all of this.
Of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot. And then, because I called her out on it, the global matrix got this bot farm to like and retweet and all this bot commenting to try and pretend that her telling me that she has a small dick in her own email address somehow teaches me a lesson. Welcome to a new episode of The Clown Show. But now I know, at least, that Greta, with a little hate-filled face, bitter, sitting somewhere without the heating on, in the cold, a little hat, shivering, use my tweets, which is going to make my Twitter account far more fun into eternity.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's properly hinged, does he not? Yeah. And this is what gets you locked up. It seems really, really fishy to me. I just don't get. And of course, all of the leftists are going to jump on this. This just, I sometimes I'm ashamed to be on the left side of center when I look at how a lot of these so-called tolerant people conduct themselves on what is it? Twitter. I mean, this is so fucking corny. And the thing is, his comeback was corny. Her tweet was arguably cornier. And it does not matter how witty he is or how witty she isn't. They're going to say she won and he lost. So I don't want to get too much into this, right? But, you know, I'd like to say this guy's got it right. This was pretty cringy. And I think that this is cringy on both accounts. This is just bad. And you know, I don't know. I just this is so fucking stupid. And this is what gets you this is what gets you arrested. And again, I don't really understand why this is an issue now. If you're running a raid on the man's home after you already you questioned this man for 5 hours and released him. The guy has been going in and out of the country because apparently that is where they live. We've seen this guy make numerous appearances on various podcasts. He's free to come, you know, back and forth into the United States, leaving the United States, into the UK, where he's from. How do you get into Romania? How do you get home and they don't know when you're home? And you're saying that he did these things that you questioned him for however many months ago. Somebody make this make sense. I'm trying to look for a link that that actually is like non-biased, because, you know, if you go to the Daily Beast, the first word in their title is misogynist. I don't trust you. Okay, when you're saying far right, I don't trust you. You know, again, Daily Beast again, far right influencer, you're not credible. So, you know, we're not hearing a whole lot from the Romanian government to this point. But I would really like to see. I would really like to see. Oh my God. It's really annoying that they keep putting these fucking pop-ups on the screen. God damn it. Can't get rid of it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys see what I'm seeing here. And we're not going to share the audio because they're going to try to. So you're going to see that they're going to have like this fucking. Oh, finally, I get to get rid of that. God damn it. A handcuffed Tate, who rose to fame this year for, again, you can't trust these fucking media outlets. You cannot trust these media outlets. Anything that they say, it's just tainted. We don't need your fucking opinion on what kind of statements that you think he's making. If you want to say controversial views, be my guest. But fuck this bullshit. Let's move on. The Brit, who was born in Washington, D.C., but raised in Luton, okay, is under investigation by the Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism, or DICOT. And reports in Romania claim he and his brother are being questioned on suspicion of forming an organized crime group which used girls in adult videos. The siblings were also questioned in April when police reportedly found 2 girls who claimed they were being held against their will. The brothers were released while the investigation continued, but were detained again on Thursday in connection with an investigation into human trafficking, EPAR, and forming an organized crime group. So they basically arrested him for the same fucking claim that they released him for over 6 months ago. A spokesman for Tate told the Daily Mirror, "We cannot provide any details at the moment regarding alleged reports that they have been detained. However, Andrew and Tristan have the utmost respect for the Romanian authorities and will always assist and help in any way they can." Tate was the most searched man on the internet early this year, before he was banned from social media sites including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as YouTube. His Twitter account was restored when Elon Musk completed his takeover of the tech giant, and Tate resumed posting immediately. So that would be Tristan Tate here. They do this stupid thing with their hands. I think it's so stupid. Like, they're supposed to be some part of, like, I mean, if you want to claim that these guys are like part of some organized crime or whatever, look no further than these stupid ass hand gestures that they make. Like, stop with this. Stop. Like, you guys look as dumb as the people that you keep calling dumb. So, Tate was supposed to be, doing one of these YouTube fight things on pay-per-view. And, wow, this is interesting. This is very interesting. He was kicked off of Celebrity Big Brother because footage emerged of him allegedly beating a woman. Again, they want to keep saying he's a sexist and a misogynist, and we're going to judge him, but then have to come on the back end and say, allegedly. The woman later insisted her relationship with Tate was consensual. And, I hate the fact that I feel like I'm in a position where I feel it necessary to defend somebody that I clearly don't have a whole lot of respect for. As a kickboxer, obviously, great kickboxer, championship kickboxer. You guys know here on TSP, we're big fans of combat sports here. He earned every accolade, everything in the mixed martial arts area, the boxing, the kickboxing. He earned everything. So kudos to him on that. But the way that he carries himself opens himself up to this kind of scrutiny. Just last week, we saw a jury of 9 women and 3 men convict a rapper singer guy. His name, I forgot his name. The little 5'2" guy. I don't really pay attention to him because he doesn't mean anything to me. But he was messing around with a woman that calls herself a male horse. And he was on trial for shooting this male horse in the foot when there was no physical evidence to suggest that he held the weapon, that he was in possession of it. No evidence that he shot the weapon. And their star witness in the case admitted to lying on the stand and asked for immunity to give testimony. So, okay. You don't have physical evidence. Your star witness admits to being a liar. And what does the verdict come back as? Guilty on all counts. Now, it was supposed to be, you are guilty because we have convicted you beyond a reasonable doubt. Your eyewitness says she was lying. Other witnesses say he didn't fire the gun. The forensics say there's no evidence that he fired this gun or was in possession of it because there's no DNA There's nothing to suggest that he ever held the weapon. Okay. And what do we gain from this? What do we gain from this? The lesson is not that much different in that case as it is here in the Tate case. The way that you carry yourself and the people that you surround yourself with puts you in a position that even if, and this is a big if, even if this Tate guy, and I cannot remember the name. I gotta find the. I gotta. Tory Lanez is his name. Sorry, I just could not remember his name. If you're Tory Lanez or you are Andrew Tate, the way that you carry yourself in a world that is squarely against, and I hate to put it in such brash terms, but we don't live in a society that is friendly towards men, specifically masculine men. We have a mantra that says believe all women. It doesn't say believe evidence. It doesn't say believe the truth. It just says believe all women. So knowing that we live in this environment and you put yourself in a position dealing with women who put your life and freedom at risk, in a lot of ways, got to blame you. Until I actually see evidence, I don't believe that Tory Lanez shot the male horse lady. I don't believe it. You're going to have to show me proof, because I believe proof. And Andrew Tate and his brother, Tristan, were just arrested on charges that they were questioned. They were already questioned on these. They entered the country freely with, it wasn't like they were trying to hide. It wasn't like they snuck across the border from some neighboring country. They flew into the airport, made it through customs, flashed a passport, and you had to, oh, wow, that's a pizza box. Now we know where you are. We're going to arrest you. I'm sorry, folks. I just don't fucking get it. If any of you have an idea of what the fuck is going on, because this shit doesn't make, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. And you already have people judging him, passing judgment on him, calling him a misogynist, soggy ass people. I don't know, folks. And again, I made it a point to never even utter the man's name because I did not have respect for him. But it's just so weird to me that the world has a way of making me at the very least play devil's advocate for somebody that I don't really have a lot of respect for at all. And I look at this Tate guy very similar to how I look at the frauds in Florida. Those guys do say things that are true about the dynamics between men and women. And a lot of women try to argue, and a lot of white, soy boy white knights, they try to, they try to argue, but they don't really have a leg to stand on because, the burden of performance and building has always been on men and always will be. But where these guys really do, where these guys really, and again, and this is why I call these guys the frauds in Florida. And I believe that Andrew Tate has proven himself to be a fraud in this case. And David Banner, flawless. I don't understand unprovoked mocking of a 19-year-old girl on the spectrum. What are you going at her for? You're supposed to be this masculine man. You're supposed to be this big, strong man. You know, like, I'm going to say he was punching down for the man that he claims that he's supposed to be. I don't know. And I just think that he's a really bad spokesman for masculinity. And I think that it's very hurtful for him and the frauds, the frauds in Florida and that ilk. I think that they do the manosphere, which this channel sits firmly in. This is not a place where you're going to get believe all women. TSP is not that place, folks. This is not a believe all women platform. This is a believe all truth and evidence. This is that platform. This is a male-aimed platform that is friendly towards women who want to acknowledge and respect reality. But yeah, I'm not seeing the top G in all of this. This is some really weird shit, folks. And of course, I know that we are going to get only believe Mrs. Evil. I don't know. You ask her if she should always be believed. You asked her. You ask her. So I don't know. So it seems like they were questioned again, and we will see how long it takes for them to be released, if they are released, what kind of trial that they would be looking at, if at all. So I don't know, folks. You guys let us know right here on TSP, for those who may be catching this after we're done, in the comments section. Definitely let us know if you have any information that obviously we're not privy to at this time, because right now details are pretty sparse. Let us know if there's any information that you guys may have, because it's very interesting that he was kicked off of a television show for abusing a woman, and that woman apparently is claiming that it wasn't abuse. Very similar to the Trevor Bauer situation, where the woman is claiming that she was abused and that she was anally EPAR'd, but then she drove more than 2 hours for it to happen a second time. So, yeah, that doesn't sound very credible, right? And that leads me to the last point that I'm going to make on this stream today. Gentlemen, I got to tell you, man. I've been with Mrs. Evil over 16 and a half years. If you're not a decade deep with a woman where you guys have that real trust that has been built over the test of time, where you've gotten to see that woman or, women in your life that because if you know, all that rough stuff, all of that alternative sexuality stuff between men and women, you see the choking and the slapping, what they call when they tie him up. All of these types of alternate stuff, guys, you gotta press the eject button on that. That whole choking and slapping and leaving marks, that's dead. It's over. I know that a lot of women that love the kink life don't want to hear that kind of shit, but even when she says, yes, you're a criminal when you involve yourself in that kind of behavior because how other people perceive it. Or if you should do something or say something that that woman doesn't like, then she can take what was consensual, brutal as it may look, it was consensual, take it and make it look like it was not consensual. And then, you know, you end up, I don't know, having people looking at font on a pizza box to come arrest you. I don't know. You guys, I want to see your opinions. If you have any added information where, you know, maybe I just don't have it right and this guy is just, you know, he's putting the lotion in a bucket and running it down the hole with the rope, and I don't know. I don't. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. And if there is any more news, obviously, we'll be right back here on TSP with more news. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.